Yeah, good morning to everybody and welcome to Innovation World 2015 here in Las Vegas. It's a pleasure for me to be here with my team, with my colleagues, and to talk to you about the strategy of Software AG and how we see the future of information technology and how Software AG will contribute to this future. And I think Karl-Heinz mentioned it in his speech and explained it very well, that what we call, or what the industry calls the digital transformation or digitization, this is a matter of fact. This is nothing for the future. This is not a vision. This is reality. Last year, as Eric mentioned, we have introduced in the US the first digital business platform. We explained the strategy, we explained the vision, the concept, and also, of course, the technology. Today, I want to take this as the foundation and give you an update what happened the last year. And while, of course, we had been early with the term digital business platform, today you see other companies also talking about digital platform, digital transformation platforms. So we believe that this type of technology will be the future of information technology. It will become what we say the center of gravity. And I give you one example. The sentence that for me explains most what's happening is the sentence, software is eating the world. Because this sentence is short and says what it is. Software is becoming the main driver for innovation in all industries, in all companies, even at home. There is no further innovation without the usage of software. 5-6 years ago, we visited a lot of CEOs. We explained what we had at this time. It was called Application, Infrastructure, and Middleware. And a lot of CEOs said, Wolfram, you know, I understand what you're saying. I think it's not bad, but we are not a software company. We are building machines. We are building cars, so that means we are building real assets, not software. Today, I hear that no longer anymore. Whatever CEO we are visiting, they all say, we need the knowledge about software. It has dramatically changed. And that, of course, is good for us. So this is a little bit the agenda. So why are we talking about it and what is it? Of course, the concept is developing further, technology is developing further, talking about architecture, because when we are talking about software, we are talking about architecture. Architecture is the most relevant aspect of a software. Some of you will say, no, it's user experience. User experience is the most important aspect of a software. I know that. I certainly agree. But believe me one thing, the best user experience doesn't matter if the system is not working. Doesn't make any sense. So architecture is a key element of software. Then the innovations, and the last point is what also Karl-Heinz mentioned, it's about co-innovation and about what does it mean to develop software. It's a different thing compared to what a lot of companies are doing today. Of course, there is a definition about the digital business. I think there are multiple definitions in the market, and we also discussed it, because if you don't know what you are talking about, it's hard to develop software for it. And what we say, what is a digital business? We say it's business transformation, so it's a change for sure, through the implementation of new digital business technology, and now to create new business opportunities or new business design. And very often, it's based on the combination of the physical and the digital world. And that's new. The new thing of the digital business is the combination of physical things, cars, machines, whatever, with the digital business processes. That makes a business a digital business. So you have two elements. You have the transformation and you have the implementation. And it's important that you also see the transformation as a key part. Most companies only talking about the implementation part of the digital business, but that's only half of it. The transformation is the other 50%, and it's as important. Don't miss the transformational part when you would like to change your business to a digital business. Now, where are we today? I think for those of you who are longer in the IT industry, we all know the last 15 years had been dominated by what is called enterprise resource planning, called ERP. Most CIOs in the last 10 years had one main task: implement ERP. Do it. Then, over time, some cloud systems had been implemented, some mobile applications had been added. There still is a lot of legacy in all companies, which will be there for a long time. And of course, web applications and B2B applications. But the center of gravity was ERP. And the idea of ERP is a packaged application. So what is a packaged application? A packaged application comes with everything in. That means the business logic, the processes, the data, the UI, everything is pre-built. And it comes as a turnkey application. That was the idea. And there was, of course, a lot of promise with that. That means you will get one system. That means integration on the data, integration on the process side, and one integrated system. But there's always a but. And the but is, while some promise was met, a lot wasn't. For example, these applications today are huge, monolithic, and complex. They are expensive to maintain. They are hard to change. Why do you think there were hundreds of thousands of consultants doing nothing else than changing and adapting these applications? Because they are not built for that. They are not designed for change. They are designed to being used as they are coming out of the box. And that's what we call standardization and harmonization. But this is no longer what you need for the digital transformation. What you need is flexibility, agility, and what we call the speed of change. So, of course, these systems will never go away. They will stay for a long, long time. But their importance for your strategy will go down. That's a matter of fact. And we still see companies taking this and taking pieces and taking it out of the ERP and putting it into other environments, whether it's cloud or on-premise. Because, and that's the point, you can't manage this type of monolithic and complex systems over time. Therefore, we believe, and a lot of customers also believe on that, the future of the digital business is not based on products. The future of the digital business is based on platforms, not on products. Why? Because the digital transformation has what we call uncertainty, unpredictability. A lot of customers telling us, we know we have to change, and we know we have to change fast, but we don't know how. And how do you want to buy a product for your future if even you don't know what the future will be? That's impossible. So you have to buy a platform that gives you all the capabilities to do the changes you need. That means the business logic has to come from your side. Nobody in the digital transformation can build business logic for you. You can't outsource your innovation to a software vendor when it comes to the business logic. This is your own work. And therefore, we define a digital business platform as an integrated set of technologies and tools to manage the digital transformation and to implement new business designs. This is what a digital platform is. It's a platform that gives you all these capabilities to transform and to implement. And this is what we call the foundation for the digital transformation. The digital business is based on platforms. That's the main message from Software AG to you today. And we totally believe that this is a matter of fact. You see it if you look what companies are doing today. The digital platform we have introduced 1 year ago now has 5 building blocks. 5 building blocks, we believe, which are necessary to build digital business models and processes. Building block number 1 is we call business and IT transformation. That's the transformational part of your digital journey. Transforming business models, transforming processes, transforming IT landscapes. That's a key element of the digital journey. Don't miss this part. Don't believe it's all about technology and implementation. If you miss the transformation part, you will fail. It's the same with ERP implementation 10 or 5 years ago when companies thought implementing ERP is a pure technology task. No, it was 50% technology and 50% organization. And here, it's the same. Building block number 2 is what we call in-memory data. Data will be managed in memory. That's a given. There is no need any longer to manage data on disk. Of course, you will have data on disk for some reasons, for archiving and for compliance and for a lot of things, but real-time business needs in-memory data. Building block number 3, integration. We are doing integration since 10 to 15 years, and it will never go away. Whatever you do in your digital transformation, whatever project you will do, you need integration capabilities because monolithic applications are not the future. You have to live with heterogeneous IT landscapes more and more. You have cloud, you have mobile, you have legacy, you have a lot of systems, and integration is key. So integration is the next building block. Building block number 4, process. Karl-Heinz mentioned it. Changing business means changing processes. Innovating processes is a key element of the digital transformation. Building block number 5, analytics and decisions. Better support of decisions. Analytics is nothing else than doing the math on data. And doing the math on data is a key element of the digital business. All this can be consumed on-premise, hybrid, or as a public cloud service. And these are the 5 building blocks of our digital business platform. 5 building blocks. Each of this is relevant for your digital transformation. And I guarantee to you, whatever you will do in the future in your company, in transition to the digital business, you will need all of these capabilities. Even not at the beginning, everything, but during the journey. And that's the difference. We don't know which use cases you will implement. Even you don't know it now. But what we know, and what we totally believe, whatever use case you will implement, you need these 5 building blocks. That means even if you have an uncertainty about your future, what is certain that you need these 5 building blocks. And of course, behind these building blocks, we have our software. We have our different components. Aries for transformation of processes, Alphabet for transformation of IT landscapes, Terracotta for data management in memory, Web Methods for integration, Web Methods for process, and Apama and Web Methods for analytics. But the capabilities and the building blocks are key. And this technology is enabling these capabilities and supporting these 5 building blocks. That's an important aspect. And we are further integrating all these technology components to what we call an entire platform. Taking all this into account, I started with this ERP as the center of gravity. Now I'm showing how we believe the future of a digital enterprise looks like when it comes to the architecture. The digital platform is the core. The digital platform is enabling everything you need. I mentioned the 5 building blocks. This platform gives you all capabilities to integrate your cloud applications. Number 1. This platform gives you all capabilities to connect to big data applications, to mobile applications, or to your partner network. This platform connects your core ERP, which, as I said, will survive for many, many years, will connect your legacy applications, and will connect to physical things. You don't need a separate platform for connecting things. You don't need a separate platform for connecting to cloud. You can do that on one single flexible platform. And last but not least, you have to develop new, what we call digital applications. Because you can't buy everything from stock, what you will need for your digital transformation. Be aware that you have to do software development in the future. That's when we are saying every company will become a software company. That means every company has to learn how to design, develop, implement, deploy, and manage applications. Whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, it doesn't matter. It's not a question of beating the competition. It's a question of survival, believe me. I'm totally convinced. If you don't learn to manage software projects, it's hard to survive in the digital world. It's not enough to know how to build machines or cars or whatever. We see a lot of companies acquiring software companies, hiring software developers, hiring software architects. And that's a very important aspect. In the past, companies wanted to outsource IT as much as possible. They do not want to do something with it. They want to buy it, outsource it, nothing to do with it. And this will change. You have to learn how to deal with software if you want to become a digital company. Because in a digital company, Karl-Heinz mentioned it, IT is the business. There is no difference. Look to Netflix. Look to Facebook. Real companies where the entire business model is based on a website, on a single website. The total business model is based on a single website. Nothing more and nothing less. Do you believe that they have a business strategy and an IT strategy? They only have one strategy. And that's a combination of business and IT. The same with Amazon. That's, from my point of view, a very important aspect. And now, the last remark to this platform in this context. If you look, what is an application? What is a business application? What makes an application a business application? Why is a business application different to a network or different to hardware? Because it contains business logic. Whether it's decision logic, whether it's process logic, integration logic, or event logic. Building applications means building this logic. And this logic is the differentiating point. How do you build? How do you invent business logic? What processes do you believe are needed? Which integration scenarios are relevant? What does it mean, analytics? What math is important for you to detect new insights from customer data? Managing business logic is what it's all about, and that's why this platform is needed. And here you can see now all the products which are related to the different areas of business logic. And that's what I mentioned before. In the digital business, nobody can develop the business logic for you. ERP was different. ERP was a software vendor is doing the innovation part for you. And that's great. That's perfect. But it doesn't work anymore. Because the uncertainty and the change is way too fast. You can't rely on an external vendor when it comes to your innovation and to your business logic innovation. So that's a totally shift in this mindset. And now it's important. Some customers asking me, how do we have to enter in this platform world? And I'm saying there are multiple scenarios and multiple steps. You don't have to buy, and now Eric hopefully is not here, you don't have to buy everything at the beginning. Yes? But of course, we are all happy if you do so. And you can. And our sales force will explain you why. But you can also have a step-by-step approach. Let's say you are an existing customer of Aris or Alphabet. And now you want to enter from the transformation part into the implementation part. And you start with the analytics area, and then you go through process, integration, and in-memory data. That's one scenario. Or you are an existing customer of webMethods PPMS. And the next step is to integrate to external cloud applications. Do that with an in-memory data grid, and then add analytics. Or you are an existing webMethods ESB customer. And the next step is to develop new process applications on top with analytics, and then go to Aris and Alphabet for transformation and to the in-memory data grid. So we provide you all this flexibility. That means entering in this journey gives you all possibilities for the future. And if you start buying new software for your digital transformation, make sure that you have all the flexibility for the future to further enrich your technology. Don't do it from one problem to the other problem. You need a more holistic view what will be needed. And these 5 building blocks, as I said, are a given. What we also see is that companies have to establish two types of what we say modes, two types of speed. All companies in the last 10 to 15 years, based on package applications, ERP, have implemented very clear governance processes. How to migrate, how to update, how to add new functionality, release cycles, everything is defined. It's stable, it's predictable, it's systematic. And of course, this is what we need, because these systems are core systems supporting critical transactions. You have to have this type of mode, we call it the proven mode, in place. But what is good for this part is bad for the new part, because the new part needs more agility, more flexibility, more speed. So you have to change your skill sets and you have to change the mindset when it comes to digital projects. And that's what we call the agile mode. Both is equally important. Don't believe that the proven mode will go away or is second class. It's as important as the agile mode, but you need both. And you need a platform that is able to support both ways in doing IT projects. If your business has a demand, you have to fulfill it very fast. You have to have a try and error approach. You have to experiment. You have to deliver prototypes. In the digital world, you can't say, we understood your demand. In half a year or in 1 year, we're coming back with a solution. In the digital world, a year is way too long. So you have to give up your thinking of the past when it comes to digital projects. And a platform like ours is able to support both modes, the agile mode and the proven mode. No change on that. Now talk about architecture, but I don't want to give you a lesson about architecture, otherwise we are sitting here until this evening. So it's only to explain how important architecture and architectural thinking is if a company becomes a software company. And what we did in our platform to provide a state-of-the-art architecture. This is one slide showing more or less what makes an architecture a modern architecture, or how we say a 21st century architecture. And if you look to these elements, whether it's having an event-driven architecture and not a client-server approach, having in-memory data and not data at disk, having a microservices architecture and not a monolithic architecture, combining transactional and analytical on one data set and not having one transactional system here and one analytical system here, moving data from one to the other. Having a cloud-enabled architecture instead of only pure on-premise, providing APIs for external connection, multi-channel UIs. That means developing one UI and you can provide it on a desktop, on web, and on mobile, whether it's a pad or whether it's a phone or whatever will come in the future. Big data integration and also what we call container management for deployment. So this is, on one slide, what makes an architecture a state-of-the-art architecture and modern architecture. And if you take that slide and you look to your applications you have implemented the last 10 years and you map it, you will have a lot of white boxes. And that will show you how fast things are going. Yeah. And this is one element where we are very proud of, therefore I have to show it, but only 10 seconds. So this is what we call an event-driven architecture. That means it's no longer about client-server, it's about applications or microservices interacting based on event messages. And of course, a messaging bus is a core element of such an event-driven architecture. This gives you flexibility. So you can consume multiple microservices, even from multiple vendors if you want, and connect it via the messaging bus to an entire system. Here you can upgrade and migrate on demand, and not if a software vendor says, now you have to do it. And this is a little bit of comparison to make very clear what we are talking about. And these comparisons are not bad or good. They are, this is different to this. Both is valid, and both stays relevant. But the digital transformation is based on the left-hand side, not on the right-hand side, even if the right-hand side stays and plays an important role. But it's not the center of gravity anymore. And this is more or less a summary what makes the difference between using a platform and building applications on top of a flexible platform, or buying a product out of the box, a turnkey solution. And the main difference is, and I always come to this point because for me that's the key, predefined business logic, meaning the software vendor is innovating your processes and your data, only makes sense if you want to standardize and harmonize. If you want to differentiate, if you want to innovate, you can't move your innovation task to the software vendor and say, do it for me. How should that work in the digital world? Therefore, the digital applications, which are built on a platform, they are combining your innovation with our innovation. And that's what Karl-Heinz called co-innovation. It's what we call buy and build. It's no longer only buy. And this is a change, ladies and gentlemen, which you have to be aware of if you start your digital journey. Now, what's new coming from us on the technology side? What we did is we developed what we call a digital roadmap, because the digital transformation needs a type of business blueprint. You can't start with a white sheet of paper. So this is a blueprint how a digital journey can look like. What are the different phases from strategy, design, implementation, execution, and control? And what are the different work streams that might make sense for your digital transformation? So take this, adapt it to your needs, but you need a navigation. You need a digital roadmap that shows you what to do, when, and how. Of course, you have to adapt it over time. You can't do it once and then it stays forever. But you need this type of digital roadmap that guides you through your journey. You can't start without that. The next one is capabilities. We developed what we call a digital capability map. A digital capability map is independent from technology and shows you what are the key capabilities in the different areas of the 5 building blocks. For example, mobile enablement in process, or design and analysis and transformation, or process discovery or predictive analytics in analytics and decisions. And as in the same way as you need a digital roadmap, you need a digital capability map of your company. Because this digital capability map is your blueprint, what you want to do in transforming your business. It's not only about technology. It's also about these capabilities. And we can support you. We can support you in defining these digital capability map. So we have the digital roadmap, and we have the digital capability map. And now, what we also did is we took this digital capability map and put it into arrays. So now you can take this in arrays and model your digital capability map. As you model processes or as you model other elements, you can model in arrays your digital capability map. And you can link it to the digital roadmap. So what you see is we give you more than only a technology platform. We give you content. We give you methodologies that supports your transformation. The only thing you need is to buy ARIS. You can do that even today if you want. So we have all the people here. So no problem at all. But this is important for me, really, that you understand the importance of these roadmaps and digital capability maps. It gives you guidance. It gives you orientation in your journey. Okay, of course, cloud is an important element of our journey. That means we are providing more and more of these capabilities as a cloud service, whether it's public or whether it's private cloud. So it's all about you. I have heard customers saying cloud first. I have heard customers saying cloud last. So I can't judge that. Yeah? So it's all about the customers, how they want to consume IT in the future as a cloud service or as a product on-premise. We go that route further and further, and we give you choice. That's best what we can do. Web Methods Integration Cloud, that's now a new addition to our stack with a new version, integrating all these elements, mobile applications, big data, things, partner. I have mentioned it in my slides before. We now have a new version, and we are very proud, because this version gives you a new type of user experience. So what you can see here, this picture is the way how you can do integration with our new cloud-based system. Modeling integrations is based on this type of approach. So it's based on the MIT Scratch methodology. You can't get it more easy. You can't develop integration flows in a more easier way than with this Scratch methodology. It's really simple, drag and drop. And this is the result of design thinking which we have implemented 3 years ago in our company. So this is the new way in doing integration work based on graphical methodologies. It's a huge step forward. Of course, we still have the Eclipse-based integration flows. And depending on the use case, you might combine it. But this is the way forward. A complete new user experience in developing integration flows. And with this, we are also addressing non-IT developers, what we call citizen developers or business analysts who can do their own integration work. More innovation. So we now have an ARIS API. That means you are now able to develop mobile applications in using an online API which is provided by the ARIS repository. You can also develop web applications if you want. So the API provides you all functionality: open a model, store a model, place an object, store an object. Everything is available, and you can develop your own mobile applications or web applications and using our entire infrastructure behind this API. So this is a modern architecture. This is co-innovation between a software vendor and a customer. We have added predictive analytics to our decision and analytics area. So we are partnering with Cementis. That's the system of our choice. We have embedded the Cementis engine into our Apama technology to provide predictive analytics. And with this, we are now providing the whole range of analytics, from descriptive, diagnostic, real-time to prescriptive. Now everything is in. What has happened? Why has it happened? What will happen? And what has to happen? All scenarios now are available in our analytics platform. RS Alphabet integration is based really on a new paradigm. Before we had a file transfer between Aries and Alphabet, now we have an online API. That means you are using Alphabet and you can browse online through the Aries repository and through the Aries objects in the same way. You are in Aries, you want to use applications, you browse through the Alphabet repository as if it would be one system. This is also a new way in doing integration. Web Methods Agile process, that's that we are providing more and more application development capabilities as an integrated part of our platform. I said it. It's not only about integration. It's not only about decision. It's also about developing new program logic, developing new, smaller microservices, and you can do that now in an integrated way based on Java, based on OSGI, Spring as a development language, and OSGI. So our digital business platform provides now out-of-the-box application development capabilities to integrate application development with middleware and infrastructure. IoT. No speech without IoT, I have learned. Yeah? Because it's also a type of hype, but of course, as always, it's some truth in it. So we provide an IoT architecture based on our digital business platform. It's not a platform itself. The capabilities you need for an IoT solution are all available in the digital business platform. Whether it's gateways, whether it's visual analytics, integration, device management, and the connection to your enterprise business processes. So IoT is a use case of a digital platform because it contains capabilities which are all available. Okay, now last point. As I said, software will become a core element of every enterprise, so you have to learn how to deal with software. That's what we do since 20 years. And what we did, we developed a continuous delivery process for software, which is also called now DevOps. And we want to share also this knowledge with you. If you go to implement software processes, we are able to support you from a methodology point of view. Because this has two levels. The first level is a strategic one. Define your strategic roadmap, have an investment plan, and define strategic investment areas. That's what you have to do if you develop software, internally or externally. Then the next two layers, going from investment planning to feature definition, feature backlog, and then you go to the Scrum teams and to implementation. So this is a holistic methodology for continuous delivery based on DevOps thinking. And we are happy to share this knowledge with you, to support you in implementing this type of processes in your company. And we are not only providing you the methodology, we only have an entire dashboard to manage performance KPIs for software development processes. And here you can see a snapshot of our dashboard where you see KPIs and how the KPIs are developing over time. Software development has to be managed as every other process in your company. In the same way, we're providing you the platform, the methodology, and a type of dashboard for monitoring KPIs which are related to this process. And last but not least, that leads me to my last slide, what Karl-Heinz mentioned, co-innovation. As I mentioned it now several times, you can't buy your digital transformation as a package application from the market. You have to use your own knowledge, your own innovative ideas. And we are offering a co-innovation partnership. We are delivering the platform. We are delivering the methodology. We are delivering the tools. And we help you to define your business logic in processes, in integration, in analytics and decisions, and we put it into our platform. So it's all about co-innovation and no longer about only the software vendor innovates. It takes too long and it takes too much time. You need continuous innovation. And therefore, you have to become a driver for this innovation. You can't buy it from any company outside. So that was it from my side, giving you an update on our strategy, on our vision, the concept, the methodology, the platform, and the tools. It's important for me that you understand the whole holistic strategy behind, because this will drive Software AG not only 1 year, for the next years. We will further integrate our technology, we will further enable it for the cloud, we will further add more capabilities, and we want to enter together with you in these co-innovation partnerships. And Eric will give you more information which partners we already have in this area and what experience these partners had. So we are happy to invite you to discuss with us the strategy, the concept, the technology, provide insight, and of course, we are happy if you are convinced and if you then also buy the technology and implement it on your side. So thank you very much for being here. It was a pleasure for me, and see you next year.